I tend to have a lot of things to remember to pack, that I would share those with you. And also, I've traveled so many times throughout my life that I have this sort of system so that I don't forget what I need to pack with me, or the essential things. So I have a list over here that I'm gonna go over with you guys in a moment. Basically, this live stream will be about what I pack on my carry-on as well as on my checked luggage in terms of beauty, and then about other items. But obviously I can't show you through everything because then it would take too many hours, because this is not edited. Anyways, for those of you guys who are new here, I tend to do live streams every Friday between 1 and 3 p.m. Eastern time. But again, as I said today, this is a special episode. In addition to that, if you're not able to make it at that time, don't worry. The live streams will always be uploaded a couple hours after they have been finalized, so you'll always be able to rewatch them. And since they tend to be pretty long, like at least 1 hour, then understandably you cannot watch them throughout, or if you just want to rewatch certain parts or whatnot. Anyways, let's get into it. So I'm going to start first with the carry-on. I have this little cute carry-on from River Island. I'm going to probably link it in the description box down below. If you're on the lookout for really beautiful carry-ons that are really good quality and they look like they could be something from Louis Vuitton, or really high end, but won't break the bank, like it's under $100, then definitely check River Island. I've had two. One that I was borrowing from my mom, and then I loved it so much that I bought it for myself. So mine has this pattern, and it's like this color as well, but obviously on a large carry-on. And I have the small pouch, which is really, really cute and really good quality. This was, again, I think under $20. Really, really beautiful. River Island, for those of you who are not familiar, is a little bit like the Forever 21 in US, but UK, from UK. You can order if you're in the US, of course, I believe. I haven't never ordered actually in the US from River Island, but I ordered from Finland. But I think you can order. Anyways, so usually I have this little pouch that I separate my liquids in, and then I add some other things in there. One thing to know is that you have a restriction amount, which I find it hard to believe that there are still people who are making a fuss about it. It's been like, what, over a decade that there is this regulation. Anyways, they give you pouches at the airport if you don't have your own, and you have to fit everything in here, and everything has to be in bottles of 100 ml or under. 100 ml, for those of you who are not familiar, is around 3.4 fluid ounce. So everything has to be packed in 3.4 fluid ounce or under. So nothing above 3.4 fluid ounce or 100 ml. I'm not sure if it's 3.4 or 3.3 or 3.5. Anyway, somewhere there. You can Google it probably. But yeah, and nothing can, it has to be closed, and nothing can be overspilling this bag. So that's your limitation for what you can carry. Now, I have everything in here just for, simplicity. But if it's things like wet wipes or medication, compact powders, eyeliners, usually those don't go in here. But anything that's liquid, like lip balm, creams, anyways, you can check the list yourself. But yeah, but I put like dry and liquid things in here, just again for simplicity, because I don't like to be carrying, like, I like to have everything in one place when I go to the bathroom. Anyways, so one thing that I find extremely important, especially if you're a woman and you're traveling and you're going long haul flights, to have some kind of intimate wipe now, or feminine wipe, or whatever they're called. Now, I like to have the ones that are individually because they're more hygienic and they're faster to grab if you're running to the toilet in a flight or whatnot. But this is extremely important because when you're sitting for so many hours in a position and you're stressed out and it can be very hot in the plane or it can be very cold, there can be extra bacteria harboring. So I think that this is extremely important if you want to avoid travelers' infections, basically. So it's just a hygiene tip that I'm providing. It's good to have it always, but especially when you're traveling. So make sure you have some packets or something of that. I always have those around. Next, I like to have some kind of fragrance after I'm landing. So I have like a little packet or sachet of a scent. I like to carry a body oil so that I can moisturize my chest and neck area and my arms because I tend to have eczema and flights tend to just exacerbate that kind of problem on me. So I have a little oil. When it comes to skincare, I have the Dermalogica Pre-Cleanse wipes. This is like the Pre-Cleanse, which is basically an oil-based makeup and debris remover, but they are conveniently packed in wipes that you can then wet and emulsify the oil. So this is much faster to use than to wash with an oil on the cabin bathroom, because obviously there's going to be a queue and you have to be very quick when washing yourself. So that's a tip from me to you. Another thing that I like to pack are hydrating mists. At least for me, cabin air tend to dehydrate me horribly, eyes and face alike. So I tend to carry two different mists. I have the Dermalogica Ultra Calming Mist and my staple, which is the Dermalogica Antioxidant Hydro Mist. So usually if I have some makeup, I'm going to take this if I'm going to sleep or it's going to be many hours. is I sweat. I tend to be hot on the plane and not cold, and it just feels a little bit icky. So I like to use these to freshen up, and you know, I'm already jet lagged. I can't sleep in planes, so I'm like all messed up because I've been like over a day without sleeping and whatnot, so I feel icky. Those little things help me feel better. Next thing, which I think is very important, unless you're traveling in first class, you're not gonna get those. Well, some airplanes give amenity kits, but anyways, I like to carry my own. So I like to have a little toothbrush and a toothpaste because nothing feels better than having a fresh minty breath after being for so long stuck in a can that's with artificial ventilation system. So next thing that I like to pack, and this is for when I'm actually landing in my destination, is like these little sachets of peels, so like acids, because my skin, I have hyperkeratosis, so my skin tends to produce too many skin cells, and it tends to go haywire when I go on planes. So it goes way worse, and that makes my entire face clogged, and there's like patches of like patches of extra dead skin cell and whatnot. So I like to use one of these when landing. Just something I like to do. I like to also carry a small bottle with an oil of choice. Here I have the Sandy Riley UFO oil because I've been more on the breaking out side of things lately, so I have this in here. Then when I'm actually in the plane and I'm about to chillax, I like to do, you know, like use the pre-cleanse and a little bit of a toner thing, and then apply a little bit of oil or the mask and the oil. So I like to carry like some sample sized masks and a sample size of a balm so that it creates a little bit of an occlusion, not like hardcore occlusion like Vaseline, but a little bit of an occlusion because it tends to be really awfully dehydrated on very long flights. Another thing is when I'm landing in my destination, usually it's morning time, so I carry some form of SPF to bring with me, so that it's like, you know, I'm gonna wash with this, spritz a little bit of a hydrating toner, and then apply my SPF. And then I have just whatever is left of my eyebrow pencil in Auburn from Laura Mercier. It's just to frame a little bit of face. Again, it's nothing necessary, but those are the things that sort of make me feel a little bit better after so many hours without sleeping and feeling icky. Now, I do have some extras here, which again is the same thing, like a face oil, face cream, whatever. I bring like a couple options so that I feel like I have a little bit of a choice, and I feel fancy, basically, just to feel fancy. You don't need to bring all of these, but I feel I like to have these things, and I like to spend my time watching at these things. I don't tend to like to look at movies in the planes because they tend to irritate my eyes. So yeah, I like to have other things to do than to have a screen to stare at. And those other things are like, for example, reading ingredients lists. I'm that silly. Also, I do carry like a lip balm and a lip gloss, for example. Lately, I've been obsessed with the Perricone MD No Lipstick lipstick. It's just awesome, 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 awesome stuff. I'm gonna show you actually. I have a little bit of lip balm. I don't have any makeup, obviously. But there is. I think it just looks very, very juicy, if you wish. So that's one of the lip balms that I'm carrying. And also I like to have lip gloss, and I just want to show you what it looks like. Actually, it's lately my favorite combo, new favorite combo. Like, I got these not long ago. I really, really like them. You should check them out. This is the Buxom lip gloss in Celeste. I think it's just beautiful, and it makes you right away awake, if you wish. Also, that I didn't put in that bag, I had it in my like handbag, and this, by the way, this is by Forever 21. They have beautiful holographic bags. Like, this honestly looks much more expensive than $7. I've got a lot of people asking me where I got this. Forever 21. Yeah, so I carry some kind of concealer, usually for my acne and my under eye. And now I have in my bag the Amazing Cosmetics Hydrate concealer in Ivory. There it is. This is a really, really good concealer. It matches my skin tone, so that's why I brought it. Then, of course, I have like EpiPens and all of my medications. I'm gonna get into that in a moment. Now, I'm gonna be a little bit fancy today. I don't have my fancy cup, but whatever. Let me check my messages, because this is a just chilling session. If anyone has any questions, let me know in the chat box. So now let's go with the actual checked in cosmetic bag. This is my skincare, then I have makeup. And I'm aware this is a lot of product. Like, most people don't need to do that, but I do it, okay? I love it, I do it. I like to have my stuff, and I usually stay for 2 to 3 weeks when I go back home to Finland. So I like to have my things, and because my skin is very problematic, very picky, it can go from breaking out into a lot of cysts to having very dry eczema, dermatitis. So I have to bring all my arsenal with me, because I don't want to be repurchasing stuff when I'm going there. So anyways, I digress. First thing first, this is awesome. If you haven't tried it yet and you have fine hair that seems that nothing will make it stay up, nothing will make it lift, give it a try. It's awesome. Like, actually, I can make you a demo. How about that? So this is my hair without anything. Like, I have just let it air dry. Okay, I'm not sure if that's a good, well, it's not really flat now. Usually by the second day, it's flatter, but I'm not sure if you can tell. Well, it's giving me a troll hair, and that's awesome. I love it. Anyways, you see more of the results when you have like blow dried and things like that. But this is seriously, seriously amazing. Like, it gives instant volume. It doesn't weigh your hair down. It feels a little bit like, you know, like you have a light coating of dry shampoo, but that's just very, very light. If you suffer, especially you suffer from oily hair like I do, this is awesome, because it sort of absorbs the oily residue in your hair and it makes it look normal again. So again, you apply, you shake it, you section your hair, you apply to roots to ends, and then you tussle to boost volume. Woo. Anyways, I have epic troll hair. Yeah, no, not epic yet. Like, I've had it way higher. So anyways, I carry this with me. Now I'm carrying it with me again, because I might give it to my mom. Like, it depends if she likes it or not. I'm like swearing by this stuff. Seriously, awesome stuff. Next thing, Dermalogica Antioxidant Hydra Mist. If you want to know my current skincare routine, I'm going to link it below. I made a blog post, very detailed, with links where you can purchase everything if you're interested. No, I'm not sponsored. I'm not a sponsored YouTuber, period. My new obsession, Biologique Recherche. lotion P50 1970. So in the US, we have 6 versions of this. P50, P50V, P50W, or W. The P50 is the strongest. Then we have P50 1970, P50V 1970, P50W, yeah, 1970. So the 1970 formula contains phenol. For some reason, it's now not allowed in Europe, although phenol is readily available in many other products in Europe that you can apply on your skin, but not on this formula. So anyways, I bought the one with phenol and I have the one without. So differences. This has 2 types of acid. This has, I think, 6 or 7 types of acid. This is supposed to be stronger. I'm not really sure yet. I think if it's up to me, I would repurchase the one without phenol. Maybe I'm stuck with that I like more newer technologies, like this has gluconolactone, malic acids. I think it has phytic acid, and anyways, I carry these 2. Awesome stuff. My new bottle of Sunday Riley Good Genes, staple. My Biologique Recherche Masque Vivant. So this, a lot of people have been saying that this stinks and reeks and it's disgusting. I personally love how it smells. If you've cooked with fresh yeast, you know, the one that's you're buying it off a bakery section that's refrigerated and it's like a sort of grayish paste, that's what it smells like, because this has fresh yeast. Now, yeast is very beneficial for acne. It I think it helps produce B5 on the skin, among other things. I absolutely love it. It helps to calm my acne. You're welcome. Next, I need designated sunscreens for my neck and my chest because my eczema there, if it doesn't have its own sunscreen that it likes, it's gonna just flare out. So anyways, I carry either one of these. I like both of them. This gives more of a glow. It's more of an oily feel. This one is more of a dry finish kind of feel. This is by Institut Estederm. It's a no sun. Technically, it has titanium dioxide 9% and zinc oxide almost 20%. So that's that. And this is Bioderma Photoderm Mineral SPF 50+, and this has a PPD, or the UVA rating, of 26. So those are those for my neck. And by the way, I use SPF year-round. UVA tends to be stronger in wintertime, so keep that in mind, especially if you suffer from hyperpigmentation or you're using a lot of acids or retinoids, which might sensibilize your skin. Then for face, what I use when I'm going to Finland, because technically now they're not really having that much sunlight, so that's why I'm not taking anything hardcore sunscreen for my face. I'm basically taking the Dermalogica Skin Perfect Primer, another staple of mine. This is a mineral sunscreen, gives you a nice glow, evens out a little bit of skin tone, and has a little bit of peptides and things like that. I also have like another staple. I run out of the bottle, so I'm using my samples. This is the Dermalogica Skin Dynamic Recovery SPF 50. And then to reapply throughout the day, the Hydroderma Hydra Bio SPF 30. So this is like a hyaluronic acid mist. I believe it has hyaluronic acid. I'm almost certain it has. If not, it has something like that. Yeah, anyways, so this sort of like hydrates your skin and it gives like an SPF, which for me it's quite important, especially now that it's starting to get very cold there in Finland, or not very cold, but coldish, or much colder than where I am. Next, I have my samples from, I tend to buy my Biologique Recherche at Rescue Spa, which they're located in Philadelphia. And no, I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not affiliated by any ways, but they are generous with samples. They are the best when it comes to, you know, customer service, how fast they ship. They're just all around awesome. Anyways, they gave me a lot of samples of the crème dermopurifiant or dermopurifiant. Again, this is for acne prone skin, but I love it. It has really, really, really helped with my skin. After the 3rd or 4th day of using this, the oil production went down a lot. Like normally nothing really does much for me in terms of oil production, except if my skin decides to have like a eczema flare up, or if I'm going in a really, 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 really cold weather. But otherwise, it's usually combination to oily. So anyways, this has seriously helped with that. I'm gonna definitely purchase the full size when I'm done with them. And then of course I got some oxygenating masks. So I'm taking these. I love to make like extra pampering when I'm on holiday and I don't have to take care of my home. I don't have to take care of anything. So yeah, that's awesome. Then I have my nightly staples, which is Retin-A 0.1, and what I apply on top is the Ren bioretinoid oil. By the way, this is not really a retinol. Like, it has oils that have vitamin A, but by the time they have converted that vitamin A into retinoic acid or tretinoin, which is this, like the percentage is really, really low. So I mean, unless you have severely, severely sensitive skin that basically even like, I don't know, colloidal oatmeal you can't tolerate, then this might make you flake or something like that. I don't know. I've applied it everywhere. I've never had any problems with that. For me, this is more of a brightening and hydrating treatment that helps to lock this thing in place. I don't know why when I use this two is way better than this one alone. So that's my thing. I've been using this for 4 years or something like that, and I've been using Retin-A for almost a decade, if not more. So yeah, anyways, maybe it's just my skin that's like accustomed to that. I don't know, probably it's that. Next, I have some fragrances. By the way, everything that's a little bit fragile, I bubble wrap before putting them in here. So this is just like the preliminary before I actually pack them in my luggage. So my 2 fragrances for this trip is Serge Lutens L'Orpheline. Beautiful scent, beautiful cold type of scent. If you like Gris Clair by Serge Lutens, you will probably love this one. This is much more colder, much more metallic, icy than Gris Clair, but it's in that type of scent family, in my opinion. Then Byredo 7 Veils, and this smells, oh, this smells like it's warm. It can be worn like late summer, early fall, winter type of a scent. It's a little bit, it's spicy, yes, but it's not like your typical amber, like your typical spice when you think of a spicy scent or an oriental scent, because this has a lot of carrot, so it's still very fresh, but I truly love that scent. So these are my 2 scents for the trip. Then I have like random stuff that I've been accumulating and I've been wanting to try. So I have like multiple Omar Visca masks, serums, La Prairie eye cream, like things like that. When I feel like I want to do a extra pampering evening there, I'm going to do that. Then I have 2 sheet masks in case my skin decides to go berserk with hydration. Of course, my second method of exfoliation. So I'll usually use this once a day, and then I'll use something like this, which this is, I believe, 3 or 4 forms of acid. Supposedly it's like 30% glycolic. Now, I don't believe that. I've used 25% glycolic peels. It's a little bit more intense than this, but I mean, this is pretty good. On my skin, it does not tingle, it does not burn. It almost feels like borderlining not doing anything, but I see in the brightness that my skin looks better after I've used that. And I also use it around my neck and chest area because I have some hyperpigmentation. So yeah, then I have the Ordinary 100% organic cold pressed rosehip seed oil. Why I love this is because 1, it's affordable, 2, is extremely good quality, and 3, it's a UV light protected bottle, so it won't oxidize the oil. Anyways, I use these primarily for my lips and for my chest and neck as like the treatment. Then I have one Dermalogica multivitamin power recovery mask, brush cleanser by Cinema Secrets. I have the professional size, and then I have this little thingy to decant. My beloved eye treatment by Niod. Extra eye treatment that I put on top of that because it's going to be very cold and my eyes are going to be peeling. So I have the Algenist Renewal Balm. Extra eye treatment, in case I'm feeling extra fancy, is the Revive Intensité Line Erasing Eye Serum. This is by White RX, the same company that makes Niod and The Ordinary, so basically Deciem.com. And this is White Flash, so basically this helps to brighten your skin tone. Like, it's a cosmetic product, helps to brighten your skin tone and camouflage a little bit the hyperpigmentation. This is a very good match for my skin tone, especially for my chest and neck. So I'll use this normally where I have the acne scarring and the chest and my neck, so it sort of like gives a brightening effect. And I don't use this like every day. I only use it if I have like really big how do you say, v-neck or something like that. Then another of my staple mini face mask. This is the 100-point perk that they give you at Sephora. So this is the Glam Glow Super Mod Clearing Mask. Total staple. When I have a breakout that's just being nasty and doesn't want to go away, this does the job every single time. I also brought a little sample from Herbivore Moon Fruit, and I'm taking these just to make facials to my husband and my mom. I like doing those, so I like throwing extra things that I know they might enjoy receiving. Then another sample, SkinCeuticals Clarifying Clay Mask. This is sort of like a milder version of the Glam Glow. So if you don't like the drying effect of the Glam Glow, or Glam Glow is too tingly or burning sensation, you will probably like the SkinCeuticals one. It has also glycolic, it also has clays, and it has additional hydrating things in there so that it doesn't dry out completely. So it always remains a little bit moist, so your skin does not feel like sucked out, if you wish. And then another of my staple, I have a large one and a travel one, is the Glam Glow Flash Mud. So this is when I want to, if I'm going out for dinner or something like that, and I want to have really, really brightened, I don't know, makeup ready skin, that everything will, you know, all the makeup that I apply on top will apply beautifully. My skin will be glowy, extra mild. I'll use this. Yeah, so that's for skincare, which is a lot. I know. Hair care, like shampoos and things like that. My mom bought me my usual stash. I tend to get Kevin Murphy, and I ran out, and she decided to get me some, so I don't need to bring, because I have there some, and she's also a Kevin Murphy user, so she always has Kevin Murphy at home, so I don't need to bring those. And also like body lotions and things like that. And yeah, I go at my mom, so I like to also take like extra things because I like to try out with her. I don't know, I think it's fun to have things to try. I don't know if it's your friend or a mom or whomever. But yeah, those are my main skincare things, which is a hay bag. Now we have for the actual makeup without the brushes, because the brushes is another tiny bag, but not that big. I'm not really big on, like, I don't need 20,000 brushes when I'm traveling, or most of the time I don't need. So let me check if there has been any messages. So I have 2 bags for the makeup. Now, if I would be staying less time, I would be, of course, having less. But since I'm staying pretty long and we're going to be going out a lot, I like to bring my stuff. And also, I like to do my mom's makeup, so I bring extra. Okay, so I'm going to start out with the foundations, which is probably what a lot of you are interested in anyways. Am I right? So when I pack for foundations, I like to think like what's going to be the weather, like where I'm going. So in case if you're going, I don't know, if you're going to Mexico, then you have to check like what's the weather in Mexico or in Canada or Iceland, wherever you're going, and check like, do you need something that's more oil controlling, that's more resistant to humidity and heat, or do you need something that's more moisturizing and resistant to a lot of wind and a lot of temperature changes? So now in Finland, it's raining a lot. They're gonna start to have the first snow, and it's going to below 0 degrees, like Celsius. So, and there is a lot of wind and rain and that kind of condition days. And even if there is sunny days, it's still like below 10 degrees. So overall, I know that it's going to be a cold weather. There's going to be days that are humid, and especially there's going to be a lot of temperature changes, which means that my skin is going to freak out a little bit and it might become dehydrated. So that's my choices that I made in the following foundations. So I'm going to be bringing out the Paul & Joe. It's the light cream foundation S in shade 00. So this is like sort of like, why am I doing that? It's almost my match. It's like very, very pale, very good match. Then I have the Josie Maran Vibrancy in RG5. Beautiful foundation, totally a staple. If I would finish, I would rebuy it. This one is a light coverage. It's very hydrating, so that I don't really use it that much here because it's too oily for this weather. But the Josie Maran, it's too oily for the summer in DC, but it's perfect for winter in Finland because it has argan oil, and also it stays well during a lot of temperature changes. It does not break, it does not melt off. So it's like a long wearing foundation, but still very, very, very hydrating, and very good if you have acne prone skin or eczema skin, because it really soothes the redness and inflammation that can come from a lot of temperature changes. And it has almost full coverage, so that's a big bonus. Then another beautiful combo that I love. This is a little bit darker, so it's for days that I want to, that I'm going out or I'm going to dinner or a party or something like that, and I want my skin to look really, really, really stunning. Again, usually when you are very, very pale, like NWNC 5 or so, pale foundations like that shade do not necessarily look very, very good, and they don't really have advanced technologies, or, you know, like La Prairie, you can't really find that. But this foundation is just, it's a Photoshop in a bottle. So I don't mind that it's a little bit darker, especially when it's cold weather. I tend to have a lot of scarves. It's not really clashing. It's not really that big of a deal. And then my staple, the Cover FX drops in N10. That's the lightest they tend to make. It's not exactly my match, but I don't mind it. So when I'm using these two together, it tends to lighten the foundation, and this adds, this is already a medium playing to medium full, like it's tempting to get a medium full, but not quite. But when I add a drop of two of these, it becomes medium full, and this has, sorry, it becomes full coverage, the most beautiful finish, most beautiful coverage, and extremely long wear if you have oily skin. So that's why I'm taking that. And then for days that I just want to have some sunscreen, something to even out my skin tone, I'm taking my two staples. So La Mer, very fair one. This has SPF 30, more than enough for the conditions that we have there. And then Chanel CC Cream in shade 10. Again, this has pretty full coverage, like medium to full, and this has like light coverage. So two different things depending on what I want to achieve or what look I want. Then for my contouring, I'm going to actually take my Tom Ford Skin Illuminating Powder Duo. I don't really like this one too much because it tends to dry out, and it's like, doesn't give much of an effect. I like to set my under eye concealer with this. It's very good for that. But this is actually a beautiful, beautiful contour color if you're fair. If you like warm toned, I tend to like warmer toned contours. It tends to look more natural on me, probably because of my hair color. But yeah, I enjoy that, and I enjoy doing my mouse makeup with that. Then I'm gonna take one of my new staples, or my new, not my new staples, my new, maybe Holy Grail blush. This is by Estee Lauder, and the color is Poppy Passion. This is a beautiful gift by my beautiful friend Julia. I absolutely love it. This is just like that perfect flushed color, like if you've been running outside in the cold weather and you get a little bit flushed, this is what it looks like. Then I'll take brain fart, Anastasia Moonchild palette. I don't really like this for my face, but I like it to highlight my eyes, or especially my chest and my neck. So as I said before, I suffer from hyperpigmentation in my neck and chest, and I like to add a little bit something to even out the skin tone. And this is perfect. Like honestly, this color matches my sort of like undertone in my skin. So I like to use Blue Moon, and I mix it a little bit with Star and Blue Ice, and I sort of dust it over, and it just makes my skin look even beautiful. And then I might add a little bit of Purple Horseshoe, not show, and to sort of like certain areas pop. So that's there. Another of my new favorites, Benefits What's Up. So I like this. For example, when I'm using a tinted moisturizer, this is a beautiful combo. Like this stick by Benefit, like the highlighter, it works very, very well with tinted moisturizers. Then I'm bringing a stronger arsenal if I want a really mega watt highlight. So Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in Celestial, and then packing on top the Becca highlighting powder or shimmering skin perfector pressed, in pearl. Like these two together, and you have radioactive highlighter. It's seriously gorgeous. So this is the white one. So that's what I'm packing for that. As you can see, I love highlighters. I do. Another of my favorites, Bobbi Brown Pink Glow. This is a beautiful, it's very strong highlighter, but it's very beautiful, especially when you're in cold weather. It just warms up a little bit your skin tone if you wish. And another my staple, Charlotte Tilbury Gold Bar. This is seriously the most stunning highlighter ever. It looks like it's going to be very yellow, but it's not. It just transforms into skin tone gorgeousness. Well, you can see it, especially if you're like NCNW05 like I am. So there's that. So finally, for blush, I have this trio that I made by Makeup Forever. So I have like basically a copper, peachy, orange, and a reddish blush. So that's that. I know it's a lot of products, but again, it's something for me that I enjoy doing when I'm on a vacation or a holiday. It makes me feel good, like I'm taking my time, I'm doing my makeup. My mom is giving me like nice warm drink, and I'm just chilling and doing my makeup, taking my time. I don't know, I just really like that whole process. Like, it's the process part. It's just, I don't need the whole thing, but I just enjoy the process side of it. Then of course I'm bringing my staple, the Tatcha Luminous Skin Mist. Very important if you're going to cold weather to have some kind of hydrating mist that you can apply over your makeup. Then for setting makeup, I'm not taking any loose powder because I'm not going to be baking or caking. If you bake or cake on minus degrees, it's going to look ridiculous because everything is going to be cold. Therefore, when you have baked a creamy or wax thing and you have powder on top and then you have cold weather, the thing is going to harden and then it's going to start cracking, and basically it's not cute. So I'm taking Cover FX Mineral Powder Foundation in N0. So I like this to lightly dust on areas where I want the thing to remain but not baking. This is very fine, and it's almost hydrating powder, so it doesn't suck out the moisture. It actually keeps the moisture level the same. It doesn't really mattify that much unless of course you cake it on, but that's not the point of it. And then on days that I'm knowing for sure that I'm going out somewhere and I need the concealer to stay better, I have the Shimera lavender powder, which also brightens the skin tone. And for touch-ups, especially for like areas where I tend to get very oily, so my skin, it can get very dry in certain areas and very oily when I'm having this kind of contrast of temperatures. So for example, my nose area and my chin will get very oily because when I'm going from cold to warm, so for example in the mall after walking outside, my nose tends to get very hot, so it produces a lot of oil. So I like to carry around some kind of light powder that will not cake my foundation and will not sit on the pores. So this is by Charlotte Tilbury, and it's her Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in Fair 1. This is really my trusted touch-up powder that I love to carry around. So that's that in terms of complexion. Then we still have a lot when it comes to color makeup. I hope by now you're not dying in your seat of boredom, but anyways, if you don't like it, you can always unwatch it, or not unwatch it, you can just exit. Yeah, that. So I have this beautiful portfolio by Laura Mercier that I have overpacked. And this is very good because it's hard. So when you're packing in your carry-on, it resists a lot of pressure. Like nothing has ever broken while being in here. So that's why I absolutely love it. It's an investment. It's kind of expensive, but totally worth it. So then it comes with a separator where you can have your brushes, but if I have that separator with the brushes, this thing is never going to close with the amount that I'm packing there. So I'm just removing it because I'm carrying my brushes in a separate pouch. So I don't need it to be here. Then you have like these little bags that have magnets and actually attach to the base of the carcass, if you wish. That sounded bad, but that's how it is. So you can, if you want to have only one thing, if you're someone that likes to organize like by looks or by, like natural look, cakey look, then you can just like, grab this and go to the bathroom. But I like to separate certain things by category. So here I have concealers and sort of primers and eyebrow products. So I like to think beforehand what kind of looks I'm going to do realistically, what I enjoy doing. I'm not gonna grab and bring any neon colors because I don't personally feel like doing any neon looks when I'm there. I'm in this red, orange, rusty eyeshadow kind of phase, so I'm sticking with that. I might do something different if I end up buying something there, but otherwise I'm bringing my staples. So two of my staple eye cream bases is this one's by Chanel and is the Rouge Brûlée 128. I like to use this on its own. It tends to crease and cake if you don't apply any eyeshadow on top, but it can look very beautiful, and especially if you're having just a tinted moisturizer, you want something light, but you want something of your color that defines a little bit your eyes. This is a good option. Then I'm carrying something a little bit darker. Now this I wouldn't use on its own. This is strictly as a base for smokier red eye color. So this is by Estee Lauder, or the ST Edit, and it's the metallic shadow in the shade Scarlet Eclipse number 3. Then in terms of concealer, I have actually quite a lot. So I'm bringing my Becca under eye brightener because I have very dark lately. I have a lot of darkness. I've been going a lot to doctors and I've been having a lot of bad news and a lot of health issues, so my eyes show it first. So this is a very good thing. As you can see, I've used it a lot. This is a very good thing to brighten up that area, especially if you're fair and you don't want to dabble with like full-on orange or full-on pink correctors. This is a good happy midpoint. You can use it on its own. It just brightens. I like to add something else on top, so I have, oh sorry, I also have a second option for brightener, and this is the lavender corrector, or the violet corrector from Becca. I really like their correctors. They're very, very good. Yeah, so then I have concealer. So I have the Amazing Cosmetics Concealer Illuminate in Ivory. This is very, very good. It's medium coverage, but very brightening. It's very good for that purpose. Also very hydrating. Then I have Core FX, the Blemish Concealer, and this is in the NX Light. This is a, as you can see, I've used a lot of this. I actually probably should repurchase one soon. Actually, I have this left. So this is truly stunning if you have acne. Like, it will really help to soothe the acne. And then I have actually the acne primer. So this you apply before applying your concealer, and this sort of forms an occlusion on top of your blemish so that it can heal properly.